Hey everyone, welcome to a long overdue episode of It's Our SoCal Life. I'm James.
And I'm Tim, and we are going down through Hollywood here.
Yeah, today we're going down Hollywood and Vine to the It Experience Chapter 2.
Look at us, skipping the line.
Skipping the line.
Everyone looking at us like, why are you skipping the line?
We were actually informed that the line started further back for the reserved tickets. So, we didn't actually skip the line. Thank you.
Wasn't too long of a wait, though. It was a hot wait, but it wasn't too long.
Yeah.
It was long, but...
Yeah, it was. We were, of course, right in the perfect spot in the line where there were no umbrellas and no tree shade. But now here we are, actually getting into the second line.
The second line to get in.
The behind the fence line to where they group us up to release us into the little fair.
If you remember from a couple years ago, we actually did the It Experience, the first one, and it was the Neibolt house, and it was on the same lot in downtown Hollywood, and it was really cool. In fact, I kind of, in ways, feel like that one was done a little better than this one, and we'll kind of get into that a little bit later as to why, but I just felt like it flowed a little better, and I felt like maybe it had more like meaningful scenes set up.
Yeah.
Oh, but here's a cool part about it.
But yeah, this was probably the coolest part of the Chapter 2 experience, was the little fairway where they would, after they got the groups together that would go through the maze together.
And you want to acquire a red ticket by winning one of these games so that you can spin the prize wheel at the end.
Yeah, they would let us go play these little games to try and win a red tickets so that we could, after the little tour through the haunted maze,
The first one to knock down.
spin a prize wheel if you want a red ticket.
Go.
This one, if you didn't hear, the first to knock down 3 wins, and this is James and me playing.
Yeah, of course he's the red bags. And of course he wins.
But it was a cool way to
That's fun.
pass the time, though.
Yeah, it was.
I did like this aspect of it very much, like you said. Like, it was a very cool way to pass the time, let the group that went in before us get through the experience. So,
The game is to be the first to pop the balloon. You're going to do that by shooting water into Pennywise's mouth. I'm going to get out of the way, and I'm going to count to 3. That's your cue to go.
I almost asked, is it cool if we start before you get out of the way? Because it's hot.
2. 3.
And just like normal carnival games, they were rigged.
Well, they weren't rigged. It's just, if you look long enough, you find a pattern. And the pattern in this particular one, as you're about to see, is...
Balloon number 3 pops first.
Always pops first.
And it always pops first.
Except for when number 4 was working, which it wasn't. Other videos
Yeah.
I've seen, 4 popped first.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, if there's a pattern to who wins and who doesn't,
I know,
that's
then
rigged.
it's kind of rigged.
That's rigged.
And then here we are at the ring
and these
toss.
damn ring tosses are always...
They're always awful. Like,
rigged.
these rings are so...
The rings fit perfectly
yeah, it's such a
over
size
the damn
that
jugs.
it would be really hard to actually get anything.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun, and it was cool that they set it up and gave us something to do.
Yeah.
It was covered in, a nice
Yeah, it was
little,
shaded and it
nice
was
little queue to wait in.
better than
So-
standing there just staring at
Absolutely.
each other. And here we go, where they just told us, okay, you're done playing games. Line up to go through the haunted fairway.
James and I were actually debating on whether or not this funhouse entrance and perhaps some of the stuff inside was actually from the movie or not, because if you've seen if you've seen It Chapter 2, this is the exact funhouse, and it would kind of be expensive for a free event for them to just bring it out here.
Yeah,
So we were wondering if it was actually the one used in the movie.
I'm thinking it probably was, because like
Pretty
you
exact.
said, that is, once you've seen the movie, you see that's really exact, and it would be, like you said, it's a waste of money to rebuild it when all you have to do is repurpose the existing set pieces. Or, they might have actually rented carnival equipment for the movie, and this is the carnival equipment they rented.
That's possibly true.
They didn't actually build set pieces, but just rented existing carnival equipment. So, who knows? Something to look into, I think.
Yeah.
if you're so inclined.
But it was your classic, cool, funhouse entrance.
And I'm so glad this tunnel wasn't any longer, because I've actually gotten vertigo in these types of things before. And like, remember that one time at that haunted house? You had to help me through it.
I remember.
I could not stand up in it.
Although they cheated, there was a walkway through that spinning
Well, so was
tunnel.
that one that I got dizzy on.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, for insurance purposes,
Oh,
they
yeah.
rarely have them without that anymore.
Yeah. If you remember, if you've seen the movie, when Bill goes into the tunnel,
He has a hard time too.
There's no flat walkway.
Yeah.
You actually have to go through the spinning tube.
And these clowns were the ones that were in the movie, so
Yeah.
they either brought these props from the movie set over to this, or perhaps, like you said, it was a rental from somewhere. Now you missed this.
Yeah, I didn't see the dude behind the mirror, but you caught him right there.
Right there, yeah.
He was the one banging. You're right there. Yeah. And then, of course, what experience would be complete without Georgie?
Without Georgie walking through. I didn't
With
see
this
Georgie
red
till the
balloon.
last second.
Yeah, it wasn't as like the first experience. There was constant like dread and things happening. It
The
seemed like
scenes had a very they were very scripted and very you entered a scene, you experienced a scene, and something happened. It seemed like in the first one,
more happened in the first one.
but in this one, it really just felt like a walkthrough kind of. I mean, it
Yeah.
was still very cool.
Like this part. Was this part in the movie, or did they just do this for this? I don't remember.
We did not see in the movie. We didn't see a lot of the inside of the funhouse except for that mirrored part.
True.
So it did feel like a couple of the sections in this
We're just kind of like
didn't really
thrown
translate.
together for filler.
Yeah, they just didn't translate.
Like this section. I mean, very well done with the optical illusions and the actors dressed to camouflage against the clowns.
Hello?
But they moved around too much. They needed to stay still longer, because you picked them out like that because they were always moving.
Yeah.
Make sure she's okay.
Now we're going into Mrs. Kirsch's apartment.
Yep. But yeah, I swear the apartment. I mean, these have to be set pieces from the movie.
At least like the pictures and
Yeah.
possibly the couch, but maybe not the couch. I don't know that they would,
Just gotta get everybody in.
But I do think there were some set pieces brought
Yeah.
in.
All right, guys, if you take a look over here, there's actually a photograph of Mrs. Kirsch.
Which is, what kind of makes it cool to do this is it actually feels like you're on the set of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, you really get a feel for it, which is why I love the Neibolt House experience so much.
You wouldn't think me if something was wrong?
I was always Daddy's little girl. What about you? Are you still his little girl?
They were walking a fine line with this one because they were doing some very key moments from the movie, but they had to be careful how they did them so that
Yeah.
they didn't give anything away like that just then.
If you've seen
Was
the
there
movie,
was there actually an actor who ran out of the kitchen, or was it
yeah,
just the sound?
no, there was a guy that ran out of the kitchen.
Okay, 'Cause I didn't see anything.
And like this really isn't in the movie at all. If
Yeah, I don't know
recall
what
correctly.
this is about.
Again, half of this was filler, but it's a free experience.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's a really cool thing to just be able to go and like.
And this makes me wonder if maybe this was like a deleted scene.
It's
Because
possible.
this obviously they didn't just throw this together overnight. They
Right.
planned and built this probably while the movie was still in the early stages of post-production.
It's possible.
So it might be that this was a scene that was ultimately cut from the final theatrical version.
Yeah.
Now this obviously wasn't, because this is a
is in-
Chinese restaurant.
And we're mostly also talking a lot through the video because the audio on the cameras we brought with us, it was kind of an impromptu filming, and the audio's not great, so you're not really missing anything. Think of it as a commentary on our excursion.
This was cool the way they did the. Well, part of it was cool. This part was a little cheesy, where he was running around reading the fortune cookies, or making people read the fortune cookies.
Yes, this was. I
This
was like,
was
oh, are they going to break
awkward
open
and-
and do weird? Is
Yeah.
weird crap going to happen or whatever? But
No.
yeah, it was just kind.
They just
again,
had stuffed rats running around on the table.
It's a free experience,
Yeah.
so you're getting what you paid for. But it was still cool.
Yeah, it's still fun.
And especially if you're familiar with
It's
the story,
definitely entertaining.
It was cool to see like
Yeah.
the settings of different aspects of the story come to life. This one actually was a lot cooler in person. It didn't translate so well
Yeah,
in the
the
video.
sewer.
But this was the sewer set, and there was a lot of like the fog hanging down with lights and stuff.
And it was very well built. And it's safe to talk about all this stuff, the spoilers in this right now, because it's over. It ended last weekend.
Well, we're not spoiling anything necessarily, but
I meant for the maze. We're not
and
spoiling
here's another
anything in
one.
this.
I get that this was supposed to be like the underground catacombs. It just didn't translate well.
Yeah.
So if you didn't know what it was, you kind of it's not really
Yeah, the
a
big
correlation to the movie.
the big
really.
thing that came out of the wall.
that might be
Well,
in relation to something at the end of the movie.
that right there.
Yeah,
that
but-
thing. I don't know, that giant pimple that
It's a very
grew out of the wall.
very loose correlation to
Yeah.
something that happened at the
I
end
was
of the movie.
because when we were watching the movie after we went through this,
I was looking
for
pieces, yeah,
for things that
absolutely.
we experienced, and like all that right there, I was like,
I think again it was another
I didn't see that
another
anywhere.
interpretation that was more filler than actual relation.
or again, it was something that was left on the cutting room floor.
It's possible. It's very possible.
This was obviously when the balloon was in the movie expanding and trying to crush everyone before it exploded.
I guess spoilers.
I
Yeah.
didn't say when or where or how.
But also, I felt lucky with our group that we only had a group of 8 people going through
Yeah.
this thing. In Hollywood, most people were in a group of 16, at least during the busier times.
Yeah.
And this ending set piece here, just the setup is basically we're behind some bleachers, right?
Yeah.
And you just kind of sat for a while. And when you see the movie, you'll realize like what the context is.
Yeah. This was definitely
But
one.
it actually didn't make any sense the way they ended the haunted experience here
Yeah.
because nothing like this happened in the movie. This was more of just an ending jump scare for us that didn't really have any real connection to the movie except for at the very, very end, kind of in a way. Not the end of the movie, but the end of the experience. But the whole
Yeah,
like,
this
this
was
bleacher
definitely-
thing was just kind of like, what?
Yeah, this was definitely one of those, you needed the context of having seen the movie to get what they were going for here.
And of course, there's Pennywise there
Yep.
at the end. And if you saw
He did
the-
not hang out nearly long enough to scare people.
Well,
He just raced through and basically doing
They-
the Pennywise equivalent of Ooga Booga.
they have a quota to fill for
I know.
getting people through, and of course, the exit sign just showed it at the end,
Yeah.
which was kind of cool.
Yeah, if you, I don't know if you noticed when everything was shaking and flashing, the E and X were flashing and blinking out.
If you want a red ticket, don't forget to spin the prize.
And of course, now it's time to spend my little red ticket. We didn't get James one, unfortunately.
Yeah,
we
I
tried to, but
I was a member of the Losers Club
But,
in that
um,
instance.
But it was cool. It was a cool experience to go through again. I think the Neibolt house was done better.
Yeah.
And I'll, of course, be linking that at the end of this video if you want to rewatch that one. I think that they did a much better job the stories and whatnot. But again, this little part here was kind of cool. I had the ticket that I got to spend.
We thought you didn't lose your ticket, did you?
Thought I might have lost it.
Thought he might have lost the ticket.
I didn't.
It was in the last pocket he checked.
Some of them sold out, some of them not.
Yep.
Nice restaurants, TMZ tours, all kinds of things. like
IMAX
that.
tickets.
The book, the actual novel itself.
Yeah.
I got a between sections thing right on the restaurant and the hat.
Mm-hmm. And you're asking me like, what do you want to do? I'm like, it's your spin. I don't know. So he opted for the hat,
There is the fantastic beaver-tailed hat.
similar to the
seen-
one in the movie.
Pretty much, yeah, what you see in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was the It experience.
Yes, it was quite entertaining. A little light on the scares.
But it was a rather quick walkthrough.
Yeah.
So, but
But
overall, very cool to experience.
Yeah,
so
it was
we had
fun.
a good time.
It was definitely worth checking out, especially since it was free.
Yeah. But
So-
I guess until next time, you guys, thanks for coming along and letting us do some commentary with you, and we will talk at you next time.
That's good.
Bye.
Thank you.